Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my podcast, Wine Therapy. Normally would be drinking wine. It is a little bit earlier than I would like to start drinking wine tonight on a Tuesday. So I'm drinking a health kick juice from my favorite place ever, Juice Co. I did a juice cleanse with them and it was a cool experience, but I was hangry as fuck. So I don't know if I would do that again. I also chopped my hair, cut it, and I did layers, and I brought my bangs back. I miss them, but it's really nice not having them because they're kind of a lot of work, but they're so cute. Okay, so for this episode, I feel like I've touched base on um, kind of like my new-ish relationship that I'm in. Um, and like if you followed along listening to my podcast, then you kind of probably already know that I don't normally like date. I have like a lot of past relationship things that I just would rather not deal with. So I always just kind of like was closed off to letting even friends into my life, like just anyone close into my life is difficult for me. I talk in a previous episode like how my boyfriend like kind of broke through and like how we're dating now, and I'm so happy. I love him so much. So it's been like kind of a fun growing experience for myself, learning about myself, old patterns, how I am in a relationship, because it's been so long since I've been in a relationship. And the goal is to kind of take you guys along with that because I'm sure I'm not the only one who um, used to feel like that and is moving into a relationship now. And like, yeah. So I actually was just talking to my best friend Ashlyn about this the other day, and she's just like, she is literally me in college, but she's like this now. Like she was in a relationship in college where I wasn't, and like I was kind of just like fuck men, right? And I went about things a very certain way, and I was very picky, and I was closed-minded, and now she's like that. And I'm like, dude, like now's the time to like go date around, like be open to it. And like she's just so shut down from it. And I don't know, she kind of was telling me, she's like, I'm kind of like ready, but like I just don't really know how to get out of this way that I am. And that's what my episode Retirement of Player is about, which is a good listen if you kind of relate to that. But she's like shocked to even see me in like the situation that I'm in now because I'm a completely I mean that sounds bad. But I'm kind of a completely different person when I'm in a relationship versus when I'm not, because I was so against it, and now like a lot of my perspectives on things has changed. Like I used to give my brother a lot of shit when he was in a long distance relationship in college just cuz I was like, "Oh my god, you guys just talked on the phone, like blah blah blah." Like, and now I relate to his now fiance, same girl that he dated 4 years of distance, and I relate to her so much, and I'm like, "Am I insane for this?" And like she's like, "No, like I was like that too. I was fucking crazy, but it's just the distance." So, I have always thought I'm an avoidant attachment. Looking back, that is absolutely what I was. I didn't want anyone to get close to me, so I just never let anybody in. Um, if something was wrong, I would like completely back off, completely pull everything away. And I actually did that a few times to Jack, my boyfriend, when we were like talking, just because like every time I'd start to like him, I would literally end things with him and be like, yeah, like I don't really want to talk as much as we do. Like, why are we doing this? Like, you don't even live near me. So like we're just gonna get hurt. Like I just had such a negative light on things. Like I never thought like, well, what if it does work out? What if this and that? Like I never think that way. And I've always been that way. But I've always been that way. I've always been kind of negative, if I'm being honest. Maybe not like outwardly to people, but I think internally I'm pretty negative as a person, where I think like all the what ifs, and like that's a lot of the roots of my anxieties comes from. And like when I used to see my therapist, like I'd see her like once every 4 years. It was never a regular thing for me, but when I would see her, she always tried to train me the different way of thinking. Instead of saying like what if this and it's all the bad things, it's like, okay, well, what if that doesn't happen? What if the good things happen? And I noticed that like I didn't practice that enough probably when I like saw her. Um I probably tried for like 2 weeks and then gave up, but those are like good patterns that I should honestly bring back in the way of thinking of just like, what if? And I feel like in a lot of aspects of life, I've been actually getting really way better with that. Um, but there's some that I have not, and that's what we're going to get into because I feel like since Jack pushed through my avoidant and like he made it in, which a lot of people don't. Like I have a very small circle of friends. I never date, honestly. If I do, it's like for fun, casual, like I just so I can set myself up to never get hurt. And since Jack has made it in and now like we're together and we're dating, he's my boyfriend, like I definitely don't think I'm as avoidant as I was. And I studied communications in college. I think that attachment styles are really interesting. I don't know what attachment style I have, honestly, and I should look more into like the study behind it because I think they're interesting, but I'm not going to sit here and like explain all the attachment styles to you because unfortunately, I don't think I'd be able to do that. I feel like people would come for me because I'm wrong or something. But from my understanding in like my life and my situation, I've always been an avoidant. Something comes up, I don't want to talk about it. It's easier not to. Um, it's easier to run. It's easier to like protect yourself and not get hurt, right? So now that I'm with Jack, I feel like I've become a little bit more of an anxious attachment. I was talking to Ashlyn about this. She sent me this girl, like this podcast on YouTube, and she explained like how to heal from an anxious attachment. And once I started listening to about what an anxious attachment is, I realized it doesn't really resonate with me. Um, Not saying that like everybody with an anxious attachment style is insecure, but I am not insecure at all. I'm I've always been like to a fault sometimes super confident, and so I don't know, a lot of things just didn't sit right with me where I'm like, I don't know, like that doesn't seem like me. Um in like at least in my relationships, like it just didn't really hit home. So I just kind of went back to square one of like I don't really know what attachment style I am, but I am very self-aware of whatever the fuck is going on. So when I was having these crash outs of like why maybe I'm an anxious attachment now, I put in perspective that I am in a long distance relationship. Jack lives in Texas. I live in California. He's in the military, so it's like not a normal long distance relationship either. We honestly have like a really good schedule and like routine that we're in because there's certain hours of the day he can't talk to me. Like it's difficult. It's like long distance on fucking steroids. It's not ideal. And that's why I was so against getting involved with him in the first place because I was like, well, that's never going to work. Like blah blah blah. Once I spent more time with him and kind of fell in love with him, I was like, okay, we can make distance work because the alternative isn't going to work of like you not being around in my life and like us not trying. And I've always been like that. And like one of my past relationships, um, it was kind of like roles reversed where I was like really ready to like dive in and like do distance with this person. And to me, looking back, that's not even fucking distance. He wasn't even that far from me. So that's funny. And he was always the one like, oh, I can't do distance right now, like blah, blah, blah. And like that confused me and broke my heart in so many ways where I was just like, like if you actually wanted to, you would. So by the time that I got to that stage in my life with Jack and I was like really falling for him, I was like, okay, like I think we can make this work. Like for with distance, you can always make it work for the right person. I mean, it's challenging. It doesn't make it easy when it is the right person. It does not at all. I mean, it's a lot of communication, which I have gotten really good at because I used to be really bad at it because I was an avoidant. But Jack is teaching me a lot. And in the beginning of a relationship, like I would shut down and he'd be like, okay, we have to talk about these things. Like, and I definitely have like learned a lot in this relationship. And I think that distance is a huge reason for that. So thank you, distance. See, that's me being positive. So I let me explain why I think maybe I have somewhat of like an anxious attachment. And going back, I think it is a lot of distance. So if Jack doesn't call me, or if he doesn't answer the phone, or he leaves something out about his day, I honestly spiral. I kind of crash out and I'm like, why wouldn't you tell me that? Like, it's such a small detail, but like, because you didn't tell me, it seems like more important than it is. And like, I can give so many examples, but like, if he's out with his friends and like I can't reach him, then like, I think he's like, I don't know. I don't even think it's with like another girl. Like I'm like, is he safe? Is he like I'm not worried about him cheating on me. I'm lucky enough that like I've never been cheated on, so I don't have that like past trauma, but I have like other trauma. And so I just freak out and I'm like, well, why aren't you like, are you pulling back? Like, are you not? And that's where I'm like, okay, is this an anxious attachment or is it just like really bad anxiety? Because like I've had anxiety my whole life. I'm not on medication. I'm just raw dog in life. I just like I don't understand where this is coming from because I've never been like this in my life. But again, I haven't been in a relationship in like 5 years, like a real relationship in like 5 years. So I'm like, maybe I am like this, and all this like past unresolved like trust issues or like traumas like coming in like front with my relationship, and I'm like taking it out on the situation. I definitely again distance a lot of the things that we like bicker about. It's all because of distance. And I'm aware of that. But another thing I notice is like, yeah, I've been better with like my communication and like sharing what's on my mind instead of shutting down. But I need Jack to like ask me what's wrong like 5 times before I open up about it. I can't just be like, hey, we need to talk. Here's this, here's how I'm feeling. I can't do that. I don't know why. I think I'm just maybe not there yet. Um, and like, for example, I like crashed out yesterday on him. And like, I think it was a valid crash out. It was one of those things where I'm like, why did you leave that out about your day? He was going to like get a drink with this girl he's friends with who is married. I didn't know that. They all fucking are in the military. Let me start there actually. I don't trust any of them. Kidding. Um, and he didn't tell me. And I saw his location at the guys, I'm mad again. At in Twin Peaks, which is like fucking hookers, right? It's like Hooters. And like, I don't care if you tell me. But I'm like, why didn't you tell me? So I crashed out because I was like, what are you hiding? I was not going to give this exact example because I knew it would piss me off again. I don't want to get mad again because I finally calmed down about it. But I just spiraled because I was like, why didn't you tell me that? I knew you were going with an airman, but why didn't you tell me like it actually was like going with like a girlfriend? That's fine. I would never ever care. I really wouldn't. But because you didn't tell me about it, it feels like you're lying to me and like something's like not adding up. And I just spiraled every blink. And like I couldn't really like get an understanding of what was going on because one, he was like at the table with her. Two, I was walking out of the door to my hair appointment. Um, so it just left a lot of blanks, and every blank I filled in with anxiety and like anxious thoughts. And I was a total thunder cunt. I ripped him a new one. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Um, I went off. I was angry. I was confused. And I wasn't even willing to like understand his side, or like I couldn't even get there because I was just so filled with emotion at first. I couldn't even understand, like, okay, she's going through a hard time. He didn't think twice about having to tell me about this because like he had already told me the plan. They weren't supposed to go get a drink, but she wanted to get a drink. And because she's going through a hard time, he thought that I would understand about it. And I'm like, I would understand, but just tell me. Like it's miscommunication in long distance. If you're in a long distance relationship, this probably sounds like somewhat familiar. But like not to get into details like that, I when we got to speak about it, like initially I was a bitch. I was like kind of yelling. I didn't let him speak. I when he's like, "Okay, like let me call you later." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to be out." Like so like I wasn't yeah, I was pissed, right? And something I'm trying to get better at is like not reacting when I'm in the heat of the moment and like self-soothing so that I realize like, okay, like I can get through this myself and then I'll talk to him when I'm in like a better state of mind to speak to him. So I ended up kind of like calming down after a couple hours and texting him. Like I always say this line, always, every time we get in like an argument like this and I get heated and yell at him and whatever. I don't want to say yell because I actually don't like yell at him, but I definitely get like upset and heated. But I always say, I think that my feelings were valid. but I definitely could have handled it differently. And I'm sorry. And I'm working on it. And I said that last night. And then we talked about it. And I'd have little flare ups again during the discussion. He'd be like, okay, like take a breath. Like, let's keep talking about it. And I'm definitely lucky to be in a relationship where like he is helping me through, um, I don't want to say help, like maybe like having patience with me when I react like that. And at the end of the day, like he should have told me. Now he knows better. Um, he understands why he should have told me. And I understand the situation of why he didn't think to tell me. And it's like we just talked through it that like we're fine now. Like we're good. Did I need to like blow up on him like that? No. And I'm gonna say, like, oh, I'm working on it. But here's the next topic that we're gonna switch to. How the fuck do you work on that? Like I've always said, like, I'm really self-aware. Isn't that always step one? Okay, I've been stuck at that step forever. I like know what's wrong. I know how I overreact, I this, I that. But like how do you not? Like how do you work on that? Like I've listened to podcasts, I've done this, I've done that. But like when something like that happens and I spiral, it's not even me. Like I'm not myself. I'm in like the heat of emotion. I my brain is like crashing out. Like spiral of horrible negative thoughts. Like and the only thing that makes me feel better is like when we talk through it. And I think I'm almost like, okay, I can't depend on him to like talk me through it. I need to be able to like talk myself through it. But then I always question myself. I'm like, well, what if I'm right about this? Or like, what if my gut's trying to tell me something? What if this isn't anxiety? What if like something's wrong? And like, I just, everything hits the fan. Shit hits the fucking fan. And I have definitely practiced like the self soothing thing where I'm like, okay, like take a deep breath, like everything's fine. He's probably just like if he doesn't answer my phone call, like I freak out. And I'm like, why? Like I have my own life too. Like I don't answer his phone call sometimes. Like he doesn't freak out like that. Like why do I think that way? Like my brain shoots to like the worst case scenario. Like I don't know. It's so bad. I think like a lot of it is like the distance issue. I think that like these little like things that come up, it is because of distance. And this is something I've talked to like my brother and like Bella about a lot because I like it's nice to have people that have been through it like understand where I'm coming from where it's like why isn't he calling me back? If he doesn't call me back this next ring, like I'm going to freak out. Like it's not right, but it's like with the circumstances of distance and like this doesn't happen often, but when it does happen it feels like tiring and I know that it's like something that I need to work. I mean, he has things he needs to work on. I have things I need to work on. But like the important part is that we both are working on them together and separately. And also like we both see that there's no other option except to work on it and figure it out and like make it work. I think a big part of it is like I'm kind of miserable with my life right now. Um, some shit came up with work that I'll like make another episode about. I'm just like not ready to talk about it. And so like my life kind of just pivoted again. Um, and I'm like, yeah, everything's just not. I was so busy and now I'm like not as much with life. And like I'm back home. I'm not in Tahoe where like all my friends live there. So I'm back home. Like I don't really have friends to like go out with. And like I'm kind of just like the most exciting thing about my day because there is no other excitement in my life is talking with Jack later on the phone. And so and like that's literally because I mean like I'm always excited to talk to him of course, but like I don't even have like oh I'm getting drinks with a friend. I'm so excited. Like I don't even like have that really. So that's another part of it where it's like I know every weekend he has fun plans with his friends and like I think almost like I envy it a little bit and I just have nothing but like time to stress and being like anxious and get work myself up over nothing. Um and so like I'm trying to like continue to keep myself busy and like make myself happy. So I'm like not like relying on like our phone calls. Like if he has something come up and he can't like talk to me on the phone, then I like freak out and I'm like, my whole day was ruined. And it's literally just because my life is that boring right now. So that's something I'm working on. I I know that this might not be like super relatable to everybody because not everybody's in a long term or a long distance relationship. And if you're not, you're fucking lucky. If you are, I'm so sorry. You're not alone. Hopefully this is like relatable and I'm not just like a fucking insane human being. But I don't know. I think like the attachment styles are interesting. I don't know what a disorganized one is, but it sounds like me. Um, and like, I don't know. I feel like this can hopefully like help someone else who might be going through something similar or just like notices these patterns about themselves that like if you're single and like you're getting in a relationship or like for when you do get in a relationship, like I was really good at being single and like I learned that this is a completely different lifestyle of being in a relationship. So as great as I was at being single, I am not as great as being in a relationship as I thought I would be going into it because I thought like, oh, I worked on myself, I'm independent, I'm this, I'm that, like I'm ready. It's like such a difference of going from being super hyper independent into a relationship and it's kind of like a tough adjustment period. Yeah. Well, that's all. Um I'll talk to you guys soon. Love you.